programming. This time we are moving into the discussion of chapter 7. It's about arrays. It is about arrays. So far we talked about variables. I hope you still remember there are three types of variables: int type, double type, and char type. And also, if you remember in chapter 6, we talked briefly about pointers. A pointer, it is an address. It is the address for a variable. It is the address for a piece of memory. And indeed, when we declare a variable, indeed, you are taking control a piece of memory from the inner computer, inside the computer. Okay, the inner memory is part of the internal memory. And now we are talking about point arrays. Okay. And let's just follow the textbook, what we have on the screen first. Well, first it is the course objective, and basically we're going to learn how to declare and use arrays for storing collections of values of the same type. And to understand that see how the array it is implemented in the C language, to understand that C implements arrays as pointers. Indeed, the array name, it is a pointer, okay. And to understand how to use a subscript to reference the individual values in an array. Those individual values are really just called as an element. And also we want to learn how to process the elements of an array in sequential order using loops. Remember the computer programming structure, we have loops using for, while, do while, and then we have a selection structure like if, switch, those kind of things. And we can do a little bit of things about the programming so far, because we have the loops, we have the ifs, and we have the pointers, and we have the variables. And now we are talking about arrays. So a little more about basic terminology of arrays. Data structure, later on if you plan to take a more advanced computer classes. And besides, beyond the languages, computer programming languages, the other class you may have in the next level, it's a so-called data structures. And data, well, so far for our consideration, we consider data, these are the int types, double types, and the char types, and the data structure could be as single as single type of integer values, single type of double values, or char characters. Char type really are for the characters. And also you need to consider, you can consider an array as a very simple example of data structure. And it is a composite of related data items stored under the same name. Okay, that's an array. And the array, it is a data structure. And the array, it is a collection of data items of the same type. That is an array. And declaring and referencing array. First of all, how do we declare an array? And keep in mind, an array, it has a bunch of numbers, a lot of elements. So array itself has a name. And then there are individual values, individual elements. Okay, so how do we access the elements? And the elements, they are accessed using subscript notation. But anyway, you see the subscript, not the actual subscript you may use in Word. It is written, it is using the pair of brackets, okay, square brackets. So first of all, let's take our very first simple example. Look at the line here, okay. Remember previously we declare a variable of double type. We simply say double x. And now note the difference. We are having the similar fashion, but anyway, right after x, it is followed by a pair of brackets and with a number. And this time, keep in mind, this time it really means we are declaring x as an array of 8 elements. X is an array of 8 elements. And similarly, you can declare, you replace the keyword double with int. That means x would be an array of 8 integers in x8. And also you could replace int with the char type, char. That means that x would be an array of 8 characters. By the way, an array of characters usually is called as a string. And indeed later on, we will have more detailed discussion on strings because some of the strings are more complicated. So for now, we just declared an array x. It is an array of 8 elements. Each is a double type. And then the other thing, x is the name of the array. The other thing is about how about those 8 elements. How do we know which is which? And so these elements can be found in the so-called subscript. As I'm saying, the subscript should be understood in a computer science way, not in the word sense. Okay, you do the actual subscript. The subscript, it is denoted as pair of brackets and with a number inside. And also, I hope you understand that many times in computer science, actually we count numbers starting from 0. So indeed, when you're having an array of 8 elements, the first element is 0. And also it's worth to mention, let's jump to the last one. Keep in mind, the last element, it is not x of 8. It is x of 7, okay? Because we count from 0. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You count. You take a log. You need they are 8. There are 8 elements. But anyway, the index. Okay, the index starts with 0. The index of x starts with 0, ending with 7. Ending with 7. This is kind of a little unusual arrangement, and it's not a normal sense. Like say we have a group of 8 people, we label person 1, person 2, person 3, those kind of things. And in computer science, especially in C language, when we declare an array, the first index is 0. We count from 0. We count from 0. So this is a very simple example, the declaration of an array and how we access each element one by one. The syntax to declare an array, the way to denote each element, Let's take a break. Thank you for watching.